Before you can truly heal, you have to let go of shame. Not guilt, not regret, shame. Shame says I'm not enough. Shame says I deserve it. Shame says it's my fault I'm broken. Shame is the lowest emotional frequency you can live in. It keeps you stuck, isolated, and repeating cycle you don't even want. In this video, we're going to talk about how to release shame and start forgiving yourself. Shame is not just feeling bad about what you did. That's guilt. Guilt said, I made a mistake. Shame says, I am a mistake. It attacks your identity. And once it's settled in, it becomes a filter of how you see yourself, your worth, and your future. Shame sounds like this. It is my fault this didn't work out. It's my fault I'm broken. I can't forgive myself, so why should I? It's my fault I'm this way. It's my fault my parents left. It's my fault my parents treat me bad. If any of these story or words sound familiar, I want to tell you that that story, that voice in your head, that's not you. That's a survivor response. Most of the shame we carry right now, it did not start with us. It comes from how we were raised, from emotional neglect, from trauma, for abandonment. Maybe you were someone who was shamed for being a kid. Maybe you were shamed for making a mistake. Maybe you were shamed for something you did not do. Maybe you were shamed because you were making mistakes, so you were forced to be perfect, to not make a mistake, to not be sensitive. Everything that you're feeling right now, it's important to know that it did not start as of right now. If you are the age of 10 and above or 12 and above, everything that you're feeling right now, it did not start with you right now. Okay, let me give you a better context to explain this. So when you were a child, from the age from a baby to all the way down to the age of 8, everything that was told to you, everything that you experienced, it did not make sense to you. Let me tell you what it means. So when we're a child, our logical mind, the part of a brain that knows something is good, something bad, that part isn't fully developed. So if you were called name, if you were treated badly, if you were feeling something that was really hurtful, but you did not express it, that everything that you felt, that everything that went on, it goes to your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is like the battery that's playing in the background. So everything, the way you see the world, the way you see relationship, the way you see everything around you, the way you act, it's all based of what's in that subconscious mind. This is so important because let's say that right now let's say you're 20, okay, and then you get into a relationship and that person ghosts you, okay, that person ghosts you. It's gonna feel like, obviously it's gonna, if you're someone who's insecure, meaning like you have an insecure attachment, that's gonna feel really bad. It's gonna hurt. But it's important to know that it's hurting right now because something is triggering what happened when you were a child. Maybe you did not have both of your parents, right? Maybe one of your parents left. Maybe your dad told you he's gonna come back, but he never came back. That it hurt you when you were a kid. And now that that partner did the same thing, it just opened up that wound that you had when you were a child. So everything that you feel right now, every shame that we feel right now, it did not start right now. It all comes from how we were raised, from what was happening in the environment when we were a child. This is so important because in order for you to heal, in order for you to go to the next level, it's important to evaluate your childhood. It's important for you to go back in time, to journal, to see why is this happening? Why does it hurt when someone say they're gonna call me but they don't call me? Why does it hurt when someone called me ugly? That is important. In order for you to heal that, you have to know what's playing in the background. Shame keeps you frozen. It disconnects you from yourself and from others. It tells you to hide, to isolate, and to pretend. It feels like self-sabotage because if you already feel unworthy, why try? If you are in a relationship and you have low self-esteem and you have shame towards yourself, when that partner leave or when that partner do you wrong, you're not gonna put the fault on that person. You're gonna think this is meant to happen because I don't love myself, so why should they stay? I don't think I'm pretty, so why would they think I'm pretty? I don't deserve this, why should they stay? The truth is, no matter your degree, no matter your beauty, no matter anything in life, no one deserves to be in that lowest frequency. No one is meant to carry that pain, because that pain, that trauma that we carry, it did not start with us. It was given to us by people who don't even know how to handle their own pain. Let's finally go on step on how to finally release shame. The first step into releasing shame is to name it. What is it that you're ashamed of? When you name shame, you take away its power. I have shame and I've been carrying this for example, I had shame about my own body because I was sexually harassed by my mom ex-husband. He touched me inappropriately when I was a kid, and from that day when I am around a male, I just feel so shameful because I felt like they would like touch me again without my consent, and I wouldn't have a word. I couldn't defend myself. And also when I would like hug a guy, my male friend or a boyfriend that I had, it would just be so hard because it's like, it's just a hug, right? You would think just a hug, but to me it was like I just didn't feel safe to be around guys because that person, he was like a dad to me. I really loved him as a dad because I did not grow up as my dad with my dad, and then he was someone that I really love as a parent, and he did that to me. So it really broke my love and my trust when it comes to guys in general. But in order for me to heal that, I had to be aware of it, right? And I will observe myself. I will see that when I am around guys, this is how I'm acting. When I'm hugging a guy, this is how I'm acting. And I really took time to really work on it. So I want you to do the same thing for you. Pick a day, maybe a day for like the whole day. Just observe yourself and see what is it that is triggering your shame. Maybe it's your face. I also had shame around my face. I did not like my face. I did not like being on video and on camera. Like every time I would walk by a mirror, I would like try my best not to look at my face because I had so much shame. I didn't like my face because my mom, and when she would get mad at me, she would just tell me I'm ugly, tell me that I should have never been born, and it was just so hard. So I had so much shame towards myself, towards my face, towards my body. But in order for me to be here and make this video, I had to heal that part of me. I have to come back to myself and love myself unconditionally, no matter what those people did. So I want you to do the same thing for you. I want you to pick a day, observe yourself. What is it that is triggering your shame? Name it. How long you had this? If possible, go back to that day when that day happens. At the end, I'm gonna give you a way to really journal and to really get rid of that. But the first step to everything, I want you to name what is it that you're ashamed of. Because if you don't know what you're ashamed of, you can't work on it and you can't go to the next step. You can't be your most confident person if you don't get rid of that shame. Shame keeps you isolated. I don't know if you're someone that's been in shame, you know what I mean, where it's like you just feel shameful to be around people. You feel so shameful to see yourself in video or to love yourself because it's like something is broken and you don't know what it is. And I want you to get past that. So as the first step, I want you to name what is it that you're ashamed of. The second step, speak to yourself like someone you love. If your best friend came to you and told you, let me give you a name, Alicia. Alicia, I am really shameful about my body. I'm very shameful about my face. What would you tell your best friend? Would you look at your best friend and be like, yeah, you're right, you're ugly. Yeah, you're right, you should be shameful? No, right? You will hug your best friend. You will speak to her like someone you love. You will give her compliment. You will try to make her feel okay. I want you to do the same thing for yourself. When you realize, when you name what is it that you're ashamed of, I don't want you to go back and criticize yourself. I want you to be loving towards yourself. When I found out what is it that I was being shameful, because when that happened when I was a child, I didn't think about it. Like I said in the beginning, whatever happens when you're a kid, like even if you got hurt, you will get past it. You won't think about it until you get old and you start reasoning. So now that when I realized that's the part of me that was making me to isolate, to not socialize, and to not talk to my guy friends, I literally hugged myself. I was like, why am I letting a grown man who don't know how to control himself? Why am I letting a mom who doesn't know how to take care of the kid? I feel like it's just such a beautiful thing when God blesses you with a child, and if you don't know how to take care of that, that's between them and God. But I don't want you to take that into heart and be like, there's something wrong with me, because I used to think that there was something wrong with me when my mom treated me like that. It's so hard because I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it's like, it's your mom, and it used to hurt. I used to put it on myself, but now it's like, if she doesn't know how to take care of me, if she doesn't know how to talk to me properly, how to love me unconditionally, that's her problem. But I'm not gonna let whatever that she's feeling, her not being able to deal with herself, with her own pain, putting that on me and letting that destroy my life. So I want you to hug yourself. I want you to speak to yourself like someone you love. Whenever that shame comes up, I don't want you to criticize yourself. I want you to place your hands on your heart and tell yourself, this happened to me. Because also, I want to say, everything that is happening, for example, if you're someone who's been in shame or has been in survival for times, you will get these words, that comes to you out of nowhere. Just know that's your nervous system trying to protect you. I think I have a video about this, and I would link it so you can really know what I'm talking about. But everything that's happening, that shame coming up, is, first of all, it's a way for you to heal, so your body wants you to get rid of that, and secondly, it's your body's way of protecting you. So I want you to place your hands on your heart and tell yourself how much how much you love yourself. Okay, so that's the second step. Talk to yourself like someone you love. After you found out what is it that you're ashamed of, I want you to speak to yourself with care, with love, like someone you love. The third step is to separate the story from your identity. This happens to me is different from this is me. You are not the mistake. You are the person who survived it. If I take myself for example, I used to have a lot of shame. Let's take the example of my mom. Maybe there's a lot of people who, maybe you can this can resonate with you. If I take my mom for example, she would treat me really, really bad, really, really bad. So back then I used to personalize it as to be like, what, am I a mistake? Because she told me that I was a mistake, I should have never been born. And I would take it to myself and shame myself and be like, why am I even here? Why this is happening to me? But now I'm able to look at it from a different perspective, because now I can see that she was putting her own pain into me instead of dealing with it like an adult. She did not know how to handle whatever that she's going through, and now I'm able to look at it and give myself so much love, because I survived so much trauma, so much thing, and and I'm still here, and I'm still loving, I'm still open to, I pray for her, I pray that God change her. But whatever that happens, I don't really attach to it, and I want you to do the same thing. What happens to you, whatever happens to you, maybe your parents spoke to you badly, maybe you were also sexually harassed like me with an ex-husband, your mom ex-husband, or anything like that. I want you to separate from yourself from the story, okay? Because it doesn't, like, I'm not even gonna say it, like, it doesn't matter whoever you are. No one deserves to be treated badly. No one deserves to be touched by without their consent, okay? So even if you made a mistake, even if your trauma made you make mistake that now you regret, I want you to remove yourself from that story. I want you to separate yourself from that story, because I always say this is, your old self did the best that she could with the knowledge that she had. So if you were someone that made a mistake when you were still when you were going through that, and now you regret and you have so much shame towards yourself, I want you to know that your old self, the you were last week, last year, 5 years ago, she did the best that she could with the knowledge that she had. Knowing that is so important, because you can look at yourself, you can give yourself so much love to see that I am so strong, I survived it, and I'm still here, and I'm willing to heal. That's so important. So the third step, I want you to separate the story from your identity, because you are not a mistake. Whoever told you that you were a mistake, my mom used to tell me that I'm a mistake, I am a mistake, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, you know, like, if she did not know how to deal with herself, that's her problem. But you are not a mistake. Every person is here for a reason. The last step is to forgive yourself. Forgiveness is not a one-time thing. It's a process. You might have to forgive yourself 100 times before a stick. But every time you do, you create space for peace. And remember what I said, your old self did the best that she could with the knowledge that she had. Knowing this, you're going to be able to forgive yourself. You're going to be able to give yourself the love that you need to get past that story. Remember, before you heal, before you can step into being your most confident self, to opening up your business, to giving everything, to bring in your feminine energy, you have to let go of shame. Because shame is like a feeling, I'm sure you know what I mean. I'm not going to explain myself, because you've been in there and I've been in shame, and I know what it means. It's like, it's a feeling that's like no one, you don't want to be in there. And I want you to get rid of that forgiveness, that shame. So before you can truly heal, before you can truly be your true authentic self, you have to forgive yourself. And that starts with doing it each time, doing it every day. It doesn't matter if you have to do it 200 times. Do it each time. Each time you feel that shame coming in, or you judging yourself, I want you to forgive yourself. I want you to place your hands on your heart and be like, I know you're just trying to save me. I know this shame is not me. This is an old story. This is not me. This is an old story. This is not me. Keep doing that over and over again, and you're gonna know that shame is gonna be gone. Okay? And then so I give you the step on how to release shame. Now, once you know all the steps, like you named it, you know what it is, you forgive yourself, you give yourself love, I want you to pick a day to journal. Okay? So when you journal, it's like you're getting that toxic out of your body. So I want you to pick a day, a time where you're able to be in a quiet space where you can just let everything that you're feeling out. Believe it or not, you can go Google this. Each time you journal, it's like you're speaking to a therapist. If you're someone who have a therapist right now, that's really great. But if you don't, I didn't at first. So I would just take a pen, go in my room, and just write out, okay? So I want you to pick, if there's a law, you pick the first one. Maybe, for example, me, it was my body. I just didn't feel like I owned my body. I felt like that man owned me for whatever reason. So I took time to write it down, to just bring back what belongs to me. So I want you to do the same thing. I want you to pick a day and just journal and just let it out. Let all your feelings out, and you're gonna see that at the end you're gonna feel so much better. If you only remember 3 things from this video, let it be this: shame is the lowest frequency you can live in, and you don't belong there. You are not what happened to you, and you are not the worst thing you've done. Self-forgiveness is how you break the cycle and come home to yourself, to loving yourself unconditionally no matter what.